this is where it gets serious now. This is why you're here. And you will find out in the next couple hundred feet how hard this is. So I need your total attention.
That was June 1st, 2015. A hot day in the mountains just outside of Los Angeles, California. Me, I lover Heike, and a lot of my friends from all over the world began a journey, a 3,000-mile journey across the whole North America continent. To ride bikes from Los Angeles to Washington, DC, in order to raise awareness of the orphans in China. Their parents have been killed or put in labor camps or prisons because of the persecution against Falun Gong in China.
So we finish. If you need to drop, let me know. You can get on the band. Let me know if you need to. You okay? Close that gap then.
Drink as much as you need. I think your body will tell you when it's time to stop.
You know, I knew it's gonna be hard, but this was actually it was on a different level than I thought. But
then it's the beginning.
Yeah.
And I know we'll make it.
I wanna go.
Please.
I'm fine. I'm fine. If I'm not okay, I'll come back again.
My name is Annie Chen. I'm the team leader for Ride to Freedom. When you say like, oh, I'm gonna bike across America 3,000 miles, you usually don't, like when people realize it, it's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But then when you actually get on the bicycle and then climb the mountains and bike, and you're sweating and thirsty, that's when it's like a realization of how difficult it is.
This is the beginning of our journey. After riding across San Gabriel Mountains, we entered Mojave Desert. There were a lot of difficulties. Physically, it was very challenging. There were no effective ways to communicate between riders and the buses. We rode in long ways. Also, our different personalities made it harder. But we always have fun no matter how tired we are.
Oh yes, okay, Keith, we have a song for you.
All right, then sing a song.
Okay, ready? Okay, this is only the first half of the song. Actually, the first quarter, first third. Okay, ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3. 30 kids from around the world have come together as one. From Hungary to India, our journey has...
I started learning Falun Gong when I was 6 years old. My dad taught me the practice. We used to practice the exercises every day in the morning, half an hour. So I used to be a part of everybody in my school.
I studied the file with my mom together, so she always helped me, and after one paragraph we talked about it, what we just read, what we understood, and we did the exercise together. So I helped my mom to teach the exercises to the other people.
When I started growing older, I occasionally thought, like, is this the right thing for me? Is this like what I actually believe in, or is it because my mom told me? I've thought about it a lot, especially in college where you're free to do whatever you want. You can go party, you can do drugs, whatever. But I think practicing Falun Dafa, like just to follow truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance, I've been able to remain very clear-headed of what values I think are very important to me and what I want to do with my life.
When I was very young, it was not so easy to be strict, but the older I get, the more I realize what worth it all has. And I always knew that it can help me, but the older I get, I see that it's what big thing it actually is.
I was born in Beijing, and my mom told me that before I was born, my grandma and grandpa went to Tiananmen to hold the Falun Dafa posters. They got caught. There, my grandma was beaten till she couldn't see and she couldn't hear. What happened after I was born and what I remember is sometimes the police would just come to your house and then they would start searching through your closet or anywhere looking for anything related to Dafa, and then if they find something then they would accuse you of being a bad person and then they would take you away.
On the 5th day, we arrived at Las Vegas, and our press conference was in the afternoon, and it ended around nighttime, so it was pretty long.
Ride to Freedom is a group of teens.
I would just introduce what Ride to Freedom was, why we are biking across America. There were a few riders who would give their personal experiences or reasons why they wanted to join. Some said it in Chinese because there were Chinese tourists also, and some in English.
我妈因为念法轮功，结果被关在监狱。当时我每天起床以后都要找妈妈，但是每天都找不到她。我每天都问我爸爸：“妈妈在哪里呀？” 但是我爸从来没回答过我，妈妈到底在哪里？
A few minutes ago, I was talking to some Chinese tourists. Even if I told them about this ride, they were not supportive. Sometimes you know that they would insult you and be mean to you, but you still have to try and talk to them because you really want them to know the truth about Falun Gong.
我的奶奶在大陆受到迫害，被迫离开家，流离在外长达3年。
We were new to this, so we just kept on repeating the procedure until we thought it was pretty much done. So I think it was our longest one is probably our 2 hours long.
支持我们这个骑向自由的活动，一起呼吁阻止迫害，解救。
We were by a very well-known tourist place. A lot of tourists would go look at the volcano. Every time it would burst, there would be music and lights. It was definitely a distraction, but I didn't feel bad. It was difficult to get people's attention though. They wouldn't really listen to what we were saying. They would just pass by, look at us, and then they just keep walking.
Indeed, the first few days were not easy, but whenever we had some trouble or something that was happening, we would always get an opportunity. In Nevada, there was a police officer who was escorting us and protecting us on the highway, and he even invited us to his house.
他们家的小孩。
Singapore. We're not professionals, so we're not.
The police officer was really nice, like not the type of police officer that I would imagine, like hunting down bad people.
It was 95 degrees today, and they were riding bicycles for many miles, and so I thought they would like to have a break and get some cold water and some refreshments and get in some air conditioning for a little while.
Thank you, Ryan family. It was really cool to be invited to a police officer's house, but what was more amazing was that we met a Cannondale guy when we were shopping.
I got some air pumps and some lube, a couple buttons and some stickers, a box of water bottles, and
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Come on. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm just using
That's what we need.
Alright, so basically, I was just walking around, trying to look for people to, tell a right to freedom about. And I saw this giant green truck that caught my eye because it says Cannondale Bicycles. And I remember, oh, we also have a Cannondale bicycle, so maybe this would be a nice thing we can relate to. And then so I went to approach him, and then he was pretty friendly once we started talking. And after that, I told him, hey, let's take a selfie together. He was so generous. He said that we can donate some spare parts. And then this is a giant truck. We have a lot of spare parts. Over the ride, we actually have more and more tires getting popped because we're riding on the highway and there's like debris on the very side. There's the glass that would chip the tire, and then see, Tanner popped two. I think he popped 2 tires.
I popped 1.
And then she popped 1. So we're missing a lot of tires.
It's a microphone.
Oh, we're missing a lot of tires still, and now we just have a whole more than enough now. So my main job is to help maintain the bikes to make sure that they're working properly. So what I do is every morning I wake up before the others, so I have enough time to make sure every single bike are in the perfect condition.
13, I need 13, 14.
Another part of the job is that when we're out riding and then we change riders, I have to help bring the bikes down because I know which bike is associated with which rider. And I also have to make sure that if their bike tire is ready, and if it's flat, then I have to help change it.
So if you take that, you're going to go right.
Before Right to Freedom, how I tell people about the persecution in my daily life is usually with another group of kids online. We make Skype calls to people in China to tell them about the persecution going on. I'm not that good at it actually because my Chinese is not as good. Most of the times they will either hang up or get annoyed and start yelling.
Oh, 喂，叔叔，您看，打不通了。
哦，那该我打吧。哦，喂，叔叔你好啊。It's kind of hard for one to actually stay long enough and listen to you. Sometimes it's successful, but most of the other times they just hang up. 我再打一遍. There was one time though when I made a phone call, this person listened to me in the end. At first though, I just used my script and then he just hang up right away 2 times. On the 3rd time though, I basically begged him to listen, and then I abandoned my script and I started using try to think of what I could off the top of my mind in Chinese too. And then that time he actually listened to me to the very end, and then he agreed that Falun Gong is actually a good thing. Right to Freedom, it's a really precious opportunity for me because it's a much easier method for me to help tell people about the persecution because I speak English better.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Gazelle.
Hi, Kazal. Nice to meet you.
We practice Falun Gong, which is a meditation exercise, and we follow truth, compassion, and tolerance, these three principles.
Okay.
But unfortunately, in China, we would not be able to practice.
For contacting media, once again, it wasn't easy. At the beginning of the trip, we were like, oh, we can't do it. You know, we're young. We need to get adults to do it. But then we said like, hey, why not? You know, this is our project. We need to do something about it ourselves. We don't have to count on other people.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Yeah, because I'm sure this kind of news is very interesting
It's very
local
interesting.
people when they know that such people are here in their city and they're doing this big thing. I mean, if you write something about it.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
I'm in the advertising and solutions, but we're going to have, actually, our writers will be here in about an hour.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether or not you can come back.
Okay. We can try. Or
Can
maybe
you
we can give
try?
our telephone. We can do
Sure.
an interview over the phone. I mean, if they need interview.
Absolutely.
And at first we were quite amateur. We didn't know what to say, and usually they would deny, you know. But as time passed, we got more professional in what we should say and how we can engage them and get them, you know, interested to come to our press conference or, you know, come and do a story on us.
Actually, and here is
You skip your lunch, right? That's why you're here early.
Yeah.
Well, we're part of a group called Right to Freedom.
If you want to hold on 1 second, here's the other reporter.
Oh, wow.
I'll get you both.
Yeah.
Get both together.
About it, and you know, perhaps the Chinese government will stop the persecution. And we're from 15 different countries. We're from 11 years old to 25 years old. Because it's China, they have high censorship of media and everything.
Their parents are taken away just because of their belief. And
it's been going on for 16 years. Yeah.
And where's the rest of the group? Are you guys ready?
Oh, they're inside.
What keeps you going when the heat and the temperature gets so bad?
Well, I just think it's for a good reason, and I can't watch anymore that in China good people are persecuted.
You know, this is a way for me to use my voice and speak out against, you know, these human rights violations by China, because I mean, people just like me who practice Falun Gong in China don't have the freedom to do it. You know, they're jailed, persecuted, and killed.
You know, I look at this group here and I'm so impressed that this group of young people would make this effort on what has to be so important of a journey, so important of a message.
I am very surprised when I came in here today and I saw these kids and their ambition. Everyone can sit at home and complain about this is happening, we need to stop this, but for them to get up like this and show their integrity and their bravery and to go out of their way just for other people shows a lot, and it will get somewhere. There will be a good result to this.
1, 2, 3.
My friends from Right to Freedom, they came from 15 different countries. Every day we would eat, we would bike, and we would tell people about Right to Freedom all together. And sometimes we would even fight with each other, which you probably didn't expect. But yeah, we fight with each other a lot.
Hey guys, this is the Right to Freedom Boys bus. Let's see how we're doing right now.
Okay, Annie, okay.
I don't know. I don't.
Maybe she is wrong.
Yes, of course she's wrong. Do you know the problem by Annie? Sometimes she says okay, and afterwards she do it otherwise. You know?
I think I'm a pretty passive person. Usually people say I'm really bad at making decisions, and I'm kind of like I'm indecisive.
Annie did yell at us a lot, especially during the meetings we had. So a lot of times, like especially as boys, we really didn't like the meetings at all because most times it was telling how bad we were, and then as it got really repetitive, I guess we just had a little distaste for that.
If you want to go to Harvard, okay, for school, you don't just give up like, oh, there's something. You keep going, you keep contacting them. It's like, oh, I know this. Just throughout the ride, I was trying to find a balance of what's the right way to speak and what's the right way to lead. There were a couple of times throughout the ride that I felt was very uncharacteristic of me. I wanted the kids to just listen to what I said, but you can't have that power unless you have a good understanding of others too.
Annie does she has a lot of responsibilities because she's a team leader, so it's pretty obvious that she has a lot of pressure. And there was that one time where after Salt Lake City, she did fell off her bike and got some bad injuries, as we saw on social media.
I was on the highway and we were coasting down the highway kind of at a fast speed, and I accidentally went on the rubble strips, the bumpy part, and I fell over because I lost control. I said, I'm okay, but as I said that, tears were streaming down my face and every place was in pain, and most part I was worried about was my chin. Yeah, some people make fun of me because it looks like a beard. With this incident, I felt very helpless. And especially because my own personal character, I'm more shy and not very strong, so I knew it was very important to me to show my strength, or to show that I had strength and the capability to lead to everyone. But at that moment, I kind of wasn't able to have that confidence to lead that much anymore. And then Keith gave me a talk and said that it's understandable that a leader makes mistakes or they fall, but it's the most important is being able to bounce back and recover from that fall or from the injuries.
Vor allem kultivieren wir uns in der Gesellschaft der täglichen Menschen.
And I really realized that I was being kind of selfish in that sense, that I just wanted to take care of myself. But as in my position in Rise of Freedom, I'm supposed to take care of everybody else, the whole team.
So Annie, what did you just do?
My scab. Now my elbow is free of scabs.
But it looks like you have a hole in your arm now.
It does kind of look like a hole. It's okay.
But it's a sign that Annie is healing, and she is fine.
Look, it goes from paleness to tanness to
pink, and then whole.
You want to drink I think I'm still kind of afraid when I go on different types of road. Like one time we had to go on the railroad track, go over a railroad track, and it was like and then because how I got my injury is going on the rumble strip. So one time I accidentally went on that again, and then I was a bit afraid, so I had to cling onto my bike even more. But I think it's getting better though. I just have to, I tell myself even if I do fall, it's okay. It's just an injury. I'll get over it.
My name is Jonathan Tsupron. I'm from Israel. I'm 15 years old.
I am Barong Sai. I am 15 this year, and I'm representing Singapore.
I'm Arian Pasta, 18 years old. I live in Austria, next to Switzerland.
Je m'appelle Lorraine Xu. J'ai 16 ans. Je viens de France.
My name is Zachary Ware. I just turned 12 years old, and I'm going to be representing the United States.
My name is Laila Will. I am from Berlin in Germany. And I'm very happy and glad that I have the opportunity to be here, to be a part of the team of Ride to Freedom.
Joining Ride to Freedom, it should, for some people, might be a really big step and like hard to all of a sudden riding a bike across America. But in my view, if it gets the job done to help people raise more awareness about this persecution, then I think this is totally worth it.
Here are riding from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C. on their bicycles. You can jump off that bus, ride 1 mile.
Come on, ride to freedom, 1 mile. Just give us 1 mile.
The main way people can support us is through taking selfies or just letting people know about the persecution happening in China, because that's our goal.
Time flies. We rode across mountains, deserts, and the Great Plains. We might have felt a lot, but we met a lot of people on the way. There were cops that came to help us. We were interviewed by some medias, and we got to visit state governments as well.
I'm going to be moving to Wyoming.
In Wyoming, Keith even got to sit in a governor's chair. We hope that we can eventually meet President Obama. We told everybody about our plan.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Kids from 15 different countries coming together to ride their bicycles from coast to coast in the U.S., hoping to make a powerful statement.
They have no professional riding experience, just the drive to make a difference.
Ride to freedom!
And that's what drives these 24 young cyclists along their grueling journey.
We really hope that we can meet with President Obama actually by the time we get to Washington, D.C. That's like...
Along the way, we've been telling everyone we met, like government officials and even media, that we wanted to have a meeting with President Obama, and we hope that when we met with him, we could arrange a meeting with President Xi Jinping and to talk about the situation in China and hopefully stop the persecution that's going on and that's like killing so many Falun Dafa practitioners. We even made a video and posted it on YouTube and social media just to get the word out.
Dear President Barack Obama, I am Annie Chen, the leader of the Ride to Freedom Global Youth Ambassadors.
Ride to Freedom is a team of 24 youths
Representing 15 countries to rescue children orphaned by the persecution of Falun Gong.
Falun Gong practitioners continue to be jailed, murdered, and tortured for their beliefs. Even worse, the children of these practitioners are left homeless and abandoned,
with no one to care for them.
When I was not even born yet, my family practices Falun Gong, and like China doesn't allow that. And then my dad got taken away. So then like for the first 2 years of my life, I didn't see him. And when I turned 6, I remember a little bit. And the police arrived at our door, and like they took my mom. I don't really remember that. My mom told me about. So they took my mom to like a brainwashing camp. I remember clearly that I went to visit her in there, and it wasn't a good feeling to see my mom. Yeah, like, and like half a year later she got released from it. And then we came to America. So I feel like I'm connected with the orphans somehow. So yeah.
We seek a meeting with you.
We look forward to seeing you.
Eight years ago, where I live now, there was a Holocaust, you know. So many people died. And most of people nowadays say, oh, if I knew that at this time, I would save all people, I would change everything. I say to them, hey, then look in China, what is happening there? What do you do? And they say, oh yeah, but you know, this is else, that's not the same. And I tell them this is exactly the same, not happening here. But you are the one, you are not there, and you can change it because you are not there.
Almost finished. With Right to Freedom, we try to reach as many people as possible. We appreciate a meeting with President Obama, as it would be a big opportunity.
When we came to Missouri, there was a special guest. His name is Sean, and he's from China. He came to the United States to study.
那我在学校，在班里面就是讲大法，讲修炼。然后呢，1星期之后被班主任找谈话，然后说你如果站下去的话，被校长知道了，校长网上举报，那么会导致我们整个你的这个年级高考受限。这么跟我说的，说我必须回家。那我说好吧，那我就回家吧。不久就被父母发现了，他们有很疯狂的打我，把我踹到地上之后，我坐到地上之后，然后他们也坐地上，然后还哭，然后甚至是打了我之后自己打自己。
I don't think Sean's parents ever had any bad intentions because all parents, they love their children. So when they hit him or beat him or sent him to the reformation camp, in their minds they thought it was the best thing because what they knew from the Communist Party, from the media and from the government is that Falun Dafa is bad, and it's kind of unfortunate because not just Sean, but also his parents are the victims of the fabricated lies that the party made.
On June 23rd, which is actually my birthday, so Annie just kind of comes over and says, Jessica, do you want to contact media people with me? And when I first made the calls, I was actually really nervous. I didn't really know exactly what to say. I think so Annie made the first call to someone, And so I kind of listened to what she said, and I took notes down, points that, okay, this is what Annie said. Maybe these are things that I should say too.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
One reporter, he published the article in the most popular newspaper in my city, Hyderabad. It almost reached everyone in Hyderabad.
What is your duty? You are the youngest.
To clean the van. It's okay, just everything is like very messy and disorderly. So I make everybody clean their own space so that their own space is clean, and then I clean my own space and the walkway and the front and everything. And then like after like 5 seconds, it's all gone.
So how are you going to improve, like make people listen to you?
I just say like you have to keep your space clean, otherwise Annie or Arian won't get happy. And then I don't know if it works or not.
How do people respond to you?
Okay, we'll try.
Oh, they say
but
that?
Then I don't really think it ever happens.
Ayla was sleeping next to me. I could see water on her sleep.
But actually I was really messy. But then every time I made a mess, Aishwarya from India, she would like always remind me that I had to clean up.
When we got to Illinois, we had a lot of feedback there. I remember once we got invited to the State House in Illinois. We can see like the government people there discussing to each other, and we were sitting in the balcony watching them debate about policies. When they saw us, they all applauded. When they heard about what we're doing, that was a really nice moment for us.
Trying to raise awareness, and no one really knows about it because of the censorship. And trying to end it by talking to President Obama.
Thank you for letting me know. How do you spell that?
There are two Canadian investigators. They found that there are harvesting organs from those practitioners. One of the states that we went through is Columbus, Ohio, which is my own hometown.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody.
I contacted the local media that will be there. I was really happy because there's actually a lot more than I thought.
Okay. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what is the bigger picture? Why are you out here? What does Right to Freedom mean to you?
Right to Freedom is like a bunch of kids from all around the world. I also got to talk to my favorite local news, which is 10 TV. That would really brighten my day.
Annie, it's very, very nice to meet you. Thank you for what you're doing. I'm going to make the presentation on behalf of the Ohio Senate.
Like some of their government people, they gave letters of recognition to both our whole Right to Freedom group and to me as well, because, you know, I'm born in Columbus, Ohio.
All those involved with the Right to Freedom, including Michael Chen from Upper Arlington High School, have combined an international vision with humanitarian concern and selfless initiative in your endeavors to help others. You are truly deserving of high praise for your work to better the world around you, and we are extremely pleased to welcome all of you to the state of Ohio. Congratulations, and we are with you in spirit and certainly in the fight for justice. Congratulations.
I know Michael personally because he's my friend before Right to Freedom, and he's very carefree and fun. He really likes being creative with his camera and very energetic.
Today, I have a very important message for everybody. There is this man on the loose. This is what he looks like.
He's just like a boy, like who's really kind of does like silly things. He is an interesting character, I guess.
From Philadelphia to DC is the most difficult part because there's a lot of traffic, no shoulders to ride on that are very good, no wide open roads anymore. So we have to be really focused.
Yeah, it's okay because I cleaned my hands and this is to help you. You just go all over, yeah.
Thank Jonathan for taking a face dive and bashing his face into the ground and everything. If it wasn't for Jonathan, the policeman wouldn't have stopped to help us. That was extremely difficult if it wasn't for the police. So, yeah, the policemen here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, you're the best, guys. You're the best.
Jasmina fell, and then she went like that, and then she was in my way, and then I rode over her, and then apparently Arya rode over her, and then probably somebody else rode over her, and then I fell, and then I hit this, and then...
Good job, sister.
Why did she fall? She was trying to slow down.
You guys, I'm watching some of you get close to that dotted line, that center line. You've got to stay over to your right.
At the beginning of the trip, we all thought this is gonna be like relaxing, and then it's just riding a bike, right? But then afterwards, when we went into the actual riding part, and then people started falling, I guess it just reminded us that we have to focus and be more concentrated on the road.
Watch out.
Stop, Rob. Okay, Rob. All the kids, we got you a gift.
We visited a mall in Philadelphia, and we all chipped in a few dollars and bought a pair of Nikes. For Robert, our bus driver, it was really hot underneath the steering wheel where he had to drive, and he was wearing sandals.
So if these are porous, I can't even imagine what my feet are going to look like in the sun.
And it was kind of our gift to show him our appreciation for him.
This line, ride the white line.
Soldier.
That night we even shaved Keith's head because he needs a haircut.
Everybody, let me now. The opportunity to mutilate Keith. Everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to mutilate Keith.
Only a slight chance.
It was fun. A lot of the kids really enjoyed it.
So scared. She's so scared.
Ew.
Oh, let me work it. It's Keith's hair. Ew.
That's so scary.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, I really do appreciate him. Sometimes he can be strict, but he always shows his love for us in a different way. He wants to push us to our best.
Show the key.
You're forgetting the ear.
I'm not forgetting the ear.
Just leave that.
Yeah, leave the ear.
Stay in the chair. Stay on the chair.
I liked your fun.
He wanted to create like a memory where we would think back, and there's like some fun times that we had with him, and he really enjoys us, and we really enjoyed him too.
Arriving in DC was like one of my happiest moments because the final 10 miles, at the very end, we were greeted by a lot of fallen DEFRA practitioners who were there holding a rally.
What is Ride to Freedom? Ride to Freedom is not just a bike ride.
We remember everything we've been through, the ups and downs, and the hardships we've been through, and now we've actually reached the destination.
Ride to Freedom is courage. Crossing through the Mojave Desert, braving through our injuries, putting aside our personal fears to finally put an end to the 16-year-long persecution of good people.
We've been coming across the country, and we've had a request. And unfortunately, the President of the United States does not give official follow-ups. So we're still waiting to hear the results of our request to Mr. President Obama. So that gives
It was also our last rally there, and like the skies were like blue, and you can see like entire like the DC area. When Isla was seeing Dove high over the storm, and when she was seeing it, you can hear the voice echo around DC. I thought that was a really nice moment.
I see you drifting through the veil of night, my lost young child. These torn clothes.
When the seed is first planted, it doesn't bloom right away. Meaning, when you first start at something, you're not going to be great at it as soon as you start. Just like the Ride to Freedom project. It started out as a thought. Then it grew, and it's reality now.
I don't want that this project ends. I often think about it when we have to leave and say goodbye. And I think when I go home, I also can talk about our project. I can say I was in the United States. Actually, I was everywhere in the United States. And then I can tell what we did and why we did it. And maybe the persecution is still going on. But then I can tell them that truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance is good.
Even though we didn't meet with President Obama, we didn't reach like that one person who could have like a big impact, but we accumulated so much support from so many people from around the world. It was like a global effect.
I actually feel very happy because when he knows or she knows, they will let other people know. And then when more people know about it, then hopefully we can achieve our goal, which is, bring an end to this persecution.
Do what you believe in. And in this case, I believe in ending the persecution in China and bringing freedom of belief to China and ending this persecution.
I see you drifting through the veil of night, my lost young child. These torn clothes and your face is bruised and red. What's happened, child? Did you say your parents were kidnapped? No, child, your parents can't be dead. My little lotus flower crying tell the truth or to be kind. Lotus flower, how can I stand by silent? Your life's on the line. Child, I will take you in. Child, I will bring you home and bring happiness back to you. No more you'll suffer alone. Child, we will take you in. Child, we will bring you home. You'll be a flower that sees the spring. Soon a dove flying high over the storm. Soon a dove high over the storm.
I never saw that.